We're at the Red Sea Film Festival. This is approximately, I want to say, about 3 months after your world premiere,
right?
In the Benally College. So, Mountain Onion was part of the Benally College. I just wanted to get a sense of what that means to you, being part of. I believe they pick 4 to 6 projects every year. So, what was that process like prior to the premiere?
Yeah, it's amazing, interesting experience because it was during the spring of in May, I think 2021, we submitted the project with Yuliya, Levitskaya, my producer, to the Benally Cinema College, and then in August they said that they invite us to the first workshop, but it was 12 projects. Yeah. So, so then and then we. After the workshop, it was a pitching, and we write down the first draft, and we send them with the production plan and all thing because it's less than 1 year left till the premiere. It was a tough thing. It was tricky, and then in December 1 year ago we figured out that we're finalists. It was very excited on one side, but on the other side, especially for the producer, wow, how can we do it really? Because she didn't expect that we will want that thing. So yeah, and then we started to develop. We need to find the cast, the crew, and we did really fast casting. One month we spent for the adults and 2 months for the kids. So it's in the same time preparation. So it was really rushed. We because of it's a low budget film for independent filmmakers. We only have 13 days to make the film, 13 days of shooting. So yeah, in the spring. So we make that, and we did the fast editing, color grading, all the things. So we need to finish that film right in the mid of July to approve that. I mean
Benally College makes a point out of saying that these are microfilms. They even put the budget limit. And I'm thinking of a film. One of my favorite films of the year is Cathedral, which was the previous edition to yours. But it says so much about you can do so much with so little.
Right.
So what you're saying to me right now is that it feels rushed, but it's so natural to the instincts of true cinema, which is put things together quickly, because that's what cinema is.
It opens your creativity to how to create, how to fit that budget, how to tell what you want to tell, what do you want to say by that. You try to put to get the essence from the story of that emotion of the film.
Let's get to the title.
Yeah.
Mountain Onion. There's a couple of strands here. It talks about the backdrop. It talks about the environment. Onion is a currency in your film. It's used to provoke emotions that you have deep inside of you, that you might have trouble expressing or putting out there. It's a currency. It's a survival instinct for people that are hustling. The film is about hustling. It's about figuring out where you want to put yourself, your position. I love the nucleus here. This 4-family structure, and that you're working with a fracture. We don't know the backstory, but you make very overt choices with the characters and how they look, how they appear. So let's first talk about the title.
Yeah.
What is your implied meaning? What was your first idea when you found the title?
I think for me it was the idea of that, the basic idea of that, the story was that men don't cry, women should be angry, that stereotype, gender stereotype. And I thought about what's, and also one of the impression I saw that people who just waving that onion. So I combined it, and I think that's what make the people cry. So it's onion, so it's mountain onion, and also I thought about because it's not that kind of onion, but also think about the layers of you peel out the layers and you see the inner core of that family. As you said, that we don't know anything about the family at the beginning, so we just try to figure out what's happening, how they get there, because they don't feed that area. So that's what I want to say, that by that name.
Let's discuss the construction or deconstruction of the family setting, the dwelling. It's a very comical thing. The approach here is to imbue this film with the sense of there's like a magical realism to the film. It's almost fable-like, but it isn't. But I love the fact that the film, the foundations of this home are constantly being subjected to like deconstruction, construction, reconstruction, and I like how that's tied to the complex nature of this family, the erosion that exists, but also the fact that they're always trying to build, regardless of what pained them 2 minutes ago or 2 years ago, which we don't know. Tell me about finding that basic idea for moneying up a home. Where does that come from?
It's also come from because I have a few friends who went to the countryside from the city because they were some successful, I don't know, businessman or some IT specialist, and they went to the countryside to become the farmers. So one of them is he did a good job
from society.
Yeah,
Okay.
they want to focus I don't know and also to grab the kids for some organic stuff because it's a lot of it's really not so good ecology in Almaty, in my home city. That's why they want to move it to the smoke thing. That was one of idea that they want to. That's why I put the characters to the countryside because they not fit it. And also I think why they should come there because we have the program that you can earn some. The government can give you the some area and you can build your own house. So that's why also it's a symbol of that you're trying to create and recreate your family because it's you're trying to develop the relationship. It's a little bit of symbol, but mostly it's also about how to manage that thing because you try to. That's why they live in that original Kazakh yurt when they.
It's so funny how they're pivoting from one place to the other. Eldar, I was thinking about two films when I was watching this film. One which has nothing to do with Kazakhstan. I believe it's a Mongolian film. It's called Tulpan.
It's Kazakhstan. Yeah.
It's Kazakhstan.
Yeah, it's
I was thinking about that film because of how you frame the family. There's a really comical element where the camera looks at a family on a motorbike, and I just felt as if there was like something familiar that it reminded me. I think it was a 2007 film.
Yeah.
And there's I like how you zone out with the camera. It reminded me of Hong Sang-soo. How there's like this. I want to call it immediate zoom, where you sort of like zoom into the family, like it's really abrupt. I was just wondering about how you were thinking about the frame and the space to add comedy levels. Just beginning with the motorbike, but also about how you sort of like pivot the characters in a way that's very fresh and vibrant.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's Tulpan. It's also it's from Kazakhstan. It's probably
I thought it was a Mongolian film. Anyway.
No, it's from Kazakhstan. Yeah, it's
Sergei
Dvortsevoi. Sergei Dvortsevoi. He studied in Russia, I think, but he's originally from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
That's why he came to Kazakhstan to capture that fish. That's a good example. And also, I think it's more about we try to find the balance, try to reflect also the idea and the emotion of the film that we try to create, that feel-good movie with the comedy, because it's a lot of absurdity in that film, but in the same time we have a lot of absurd in our everyday life. Mm-hmm. That's why I try to reflect that thing because
it's really accentuated here, the absurdity.
That's why I try to develop that thing, and we discussed it with my DOP director, Eldar Shibanov, my brother also. We try to find a way how to tell that in the comic style and try to reflect their emotion through the positioning the camera, how to do the blocking, with the zoom also. I suggest just to use the zoom because it will be easy to focus on some point. I think he did a good job. One of example is for the idea to make the shots, how to about the composition. It's how use the more comic style composition. So it's angles, sharp angles.
Yeah, there is a lot of. I found that there was a lot of interesting geometry, low angle shots, making the world seem a lot bigger. You do follow a young, small protagonist, and those shots are specifically. It just illuminates or makes those his actions all that more funny or comical. How did you find the family looks as if they're split into two? The mother, daughter, son, father. They sort of like it's almost as if there's like two different families comprised into one. How did the casting process work for you? I mean, the little boy is just like. You know, he takes up all the space just with the veracity and his emotions. How did you find these players?
Just one thing. I just want to mention that you said that about that low angle shot because it's also we want to show that the kid point of view, the main character point of view. That's also help us because when you're a kid, you see everything from the bottom. That's why I also want to show that. And yeah, that's wonderful. We have that. We don't have enough time, but for the casting, and that's good, I think, because our casting director, Levitskaya, she helps us a lot because she works in the industry for a long time, especially with the kids, and she suggests us some kids for. And we did audition, and what's the main thing for me was to find the person because it's a story about gender stereotypes, and I think the kids why they are so pure and natural because they don't have that influence from the parents, especially till I think till that age, around 10, 11, 12. So I tried to find some kid who will be don't have that stereotypes, who will be free to discuss that thing. So Jabai, that's amazing, and the kid, the girl, his sister, it's amazing that they was pure and they don't afraid to say word sex because some kids said they change it to the cake or something. I said no, it's that word. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
They already have that stereotype from their parents and from I don't know, maybe from the society, and that's amazing. And it was tricky to find because it's when you do the casting for the family, it's not easy to find the kids who will fit the parents.
Exactly.
Because that's why we choose also one of the thing was when we find girl with the white skin and the mother because everyone thought that they are relatives because they looks alike really. So that's why we also so he's a father son and she's more like mother. That's great.
And I wanted to there's something really I want to say that really sticks out is how you layer like the mother character. She looks almost like, she looks like a pink flamingo Irma Vep a bit. A very conscientious choice. Even the father character, he's wearing pink flamingo-ish, very colorful things to sort of like contradict the background. So I just wanted to get your sense of like, those are very specific choices. Why did you choose to add a little bit of color or pastel to a backdrop that, you know, we're so used to this backdrop, so why did you decide to add a little bit of flourishes of color just in the garb, in the costume?
On the one side, it's that in the countryside, people really love bright colors. Okay. They wear because I travel a lot around Kazakhstan, and everyone in the countryside. I don't know. Maybe everything is around. It's gray, especially I don't know. Only in the spring it's green, but during the summertime everything burned out, and you see that the gray steppe. And maybe they try to add the color to the life to become I don't know to feel because it's not that south warm country, so we have winter. That's why maybe they want to add. But at the same time, we also want to show with the concept they don't fit that area because they and you mentioned that with about the costume of the mother. We want to show that she's like an alien from that in that area, but she tried to used that costume like because she worked on the gas station. That's why it's good for her. She don't have that special costume. Yeah, and that's why we want to show that they don't fit. Yeah.
I wanted to get a sense of Kazakhstani cinema. I want to believe that now is a really interesting point. There's a lot of new filmmakers that have been coming out for that. I want to say the last decade, we see them populate the Cannes Film Festival, Venice Film Festival. What is, how do you find yourself within the industry, and what do you have to say about the conditions of the industry right now?
You know, that's it grows, it become more bigger. And it's a lot of great directors who do this different films. And about our place, we try to what I not dislike, but what I prefer not show only one side of Kazakhstan, because most of the films it's about especially it's also the countryside, but it's like a hard dramas, the dark thing. I want to show other side of Kazakhstan because maybe I'm more optimistic person. I think that the glass is the half full, so I think it's a lot of bright thing in Kazakhstan, and I want to show that amazing people who just they have their weakness, but they see the good thing in the other person. Yeah, and it's amazing to work with other directors because we also I during my films when I develop some stories, I also work as a special effect makeup designer, designer, on the films, and we have that. We just did some special effect makeup for the Abdrakhmanov film, and other directors. We work. Previously, I worked as a production designer, and I started to work in this in art department. And also we work on the harmony lessons with Yuliya Levitskaya. She was a production designer of the film and concept designer of the harmony lessons. One of the film which started that decade of the. So yeah, we. So
it's a small. So
it's not a small. Yeah, because it's only not more than 20 million citizens in all Kazakhstan, but it's a huge area. So it's
And just to get a sense, so there's this omnipresence of China in the film, import-export trade. Your film is multi-language. It's embedded with Russia, but China. Just from your perspective, or just to get a better sense, how is that rapport with China? Is it like this big, giant presence, and like you guys are the small country with small needs, and you're dependent on them, almost like attached to a mother or something like that?
Right.
Is that how the people feel? Is that how?
Yeah. It's more. I think it's a big fear of, because we are right in between of that two big huge neighbors like Russia and China. So yeah, it's like parents, because we are like a kids
like the little children
in some points.
We'll help you along the way.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But you have to do that thing. That's it's more about awareness of that, how they can affect on us, because maybe they will buy our areas and other thing. But yeah, it's but we in the same time we share the culture, and that's amazing because we are right in the middle of Eurasia. So it's we don't fit really to Asia. We are not like east, far east and south, and we're also not Europeans. We're right in the middle, but that's good. We observe everything, all the cultures.
Of course.
So it's amazing that we speak in Kazakh, in Almaty especially. It's a lot of language you can talk. It's like amazing cuisines, and you share the especially in art, and that's the main thing. I think that's share the culture.
It's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think that's the main point.
Eldar, I hope this film travels well.
Thank you so much.
It's certainly a film that I imagine that the audience reaction last night was part of like the moment where you get to soak in the experience on a different level.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to thank you for a very uplifting film, and very much looking forward to seeing where you go on next. Hopefully with a little bit of a bigger budget, right? That's the hope.
Thank you so much.
I'll just go like, bro,
Thank you so
bro.
much. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, bro. Right. Yeah.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.